Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sandra here, and today I'm here with Elizabeth. Hi Elizabeth, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, like where are you located, how old are you, and just a little bit facts about yourself.
So I live in South Africa. I am South African. I am a student at one of our universities here, and I am 21 years old.
Nice. So, I reached out to the hyperhidrosis community because I wanted to find more people willing to share their story about everyday struggle and everyday life with hyperhidrosis. And you contacted me and answered that request. So, what was it that drew you to joining me in this conversation?
I think it's so important to make more people aware of the struggles that people with hyperhidrosis go through. Because since I've started talking more openly about the challenges, a lot of people have come forward and said, "Wow, I have the same issue, and I was never able to put a name to it, or I didn't know that other people had it." So I think it's so important because the more people you reach, the more they realize that I won't say it's normal, but it's not as strange or isolating as they thought it was.
Right, right. And I think with internet and social media today, we have a great opportunity compared to
Mm.
some decades ago to reach out to more people. So if we go back in time, what is your like first memory regarding your sweat issues?
So I have had hyperhidrosis my entire life. I can't actually remember a period where I haven't had it. And most of my earliest childhood memories are surrounded. Hyperhidrosis is a key part of those memories.
Hmm.
So I think one of my earliest memories, I was still in preschool and I was sitting on a chair and I wasn't wearing shoes. So there was like a puddle forming underneath my feet
Mm.
on the floor. And my brother, he walked past me and he said, why is the floor wet? What is the water there? And then I looked down and I realized that it was me.
Oh,
And at that point, I hadn't realized like how bad it was or how bad it could get. So I think that's one of my earliest childhood memories of hyperhidrosis.
oh. And what did you mention your age there about how old you were?
Probably around about 6, 7.
Something like that. Okay. So, and what areas of your body are affected by hyperhidrosis?
So when I was small, it was my hands and my feet. It still is. And then when I hit puberty, and then it became my underarms as well.
Hmm.
So it's those three areas: my hands, my feet, and under my arms.
Yeah, so you're a pretty classic case of
Yes.
hyperhidrosis. Yeah. I mean, because there are different kinds of hyperhidrosis, as you might know.
Mm.
And when we talk about primary hyperhidrosis, I mean hyperhidrosis that is not caused by any other underlying condition. The most studied form is the one that usually affects young people, kids, and start with the hands and feet, and then it can go to the armpits and groin area and butt area as well. So that is like the most common form. But then, I mean, we have generalized hyperhidrosis, which is probably um, pretty common too, but it hasn't been studied in the same way. Okay, so do you have any relatives with hyperhidrosis that you're aware of?
Yes, yes. My mother has it and my grandfather has it.
Okay, is it the same problem areas as well, or is it affecting other body parts in that case?
I'm not actually sure. I know with my grandfather it was his hands and his feet, but he, I'm not sure when he stopped, but he doesn't suffer from it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I think it stopped around about in the middle of his life. And then my mother, it's her hands and her feet as well. And
Hmm.
she's now 54, and she still has it.
She still has it. Okay. So maybe she's hoping that it will go away like her father. We'll see. Yeah. But I mean, like you might know as well, the genetics plays a part in this, even if we haven't isolated like all the genes involved in this condition. But about at least 50% of all the patients suffering from hyperhidrosis have at least one close relative with the condition. So it's quite common. And like you said, in some cases, it could grow away with time, and in some cases it stays for life, and we have no way of indicating or knowing that, unfortunately, as of today. But okay, so did you ever seek medical care for your hyperhidrosis, or like how did you find out that it was hyperhidrosis?
So I obviously I always knew that I had this condition, and I knew that not everybody around me had the same thing. I was only aware of my mom who had it. So I did approach her and I said, surely there must be something that we can do about it, or go talk to a doctor or something. But unfortunately, living in South Africa, our healthcare system isn't the best.
Mm,
And then my mom just said to me, no, she tried creams and pills and stuff, and it didn't work for her.
mm,
So she said, yeah, if it doesn't work for me, it's probably not going to work for you. So I never actually, yeah, looked for medical attention. And then in high school, I think I was grade 10 or 11, I was just Googling. I was like, I have to find out what this is. What is it? Is it normal? And then that's when I came across the term hyperhidrosis. And
mm.
coming across a term or a label to put on it was so freeing, because then it helped me understand it and I could do more research about it. So then I heard about the surgery that you can have.
Mm.
So I did more research into that because I was quite excited when I heard that. But then I saw all the side effects that happened,
Yeah.
and there was only one doctor in South Africa who could do it or does do it.
Mm.
And then I went into research a bit more about him, but he has quite a few lawsuits against him
Oh,
for medical malpractice.
oh,
So I was like, okay, never mind.
that was not reassuring then.
No, no. So I left that, and then just before I started university, I came across I'm gonna butcher the word. I have iontophoresis.
Iontophoresis, yes.
Yes.
Iontophoresis.
Um,
Mhm.
so I came across that. I actually came across
Hydroxa?
hydroxide,
Yeah.
but then you didn't ship to South Africa. So I was looking for alternative brands or companies that could potentially, and I found one that they actually make it in South Africa and they ship it around
Mm.
South Africa.
Oh, that's
So
great.
I did, yes. I bought it and it worked. It worked really well. My only issue was that I don't know, it caused a lot of pain,
Ah.
and I don't know how normal it is. Like I really, it got painful, and after reading stuff, I realized, okay, maybe it's not supposed to be that painful.
Mm.
So I tried lowering the voltage and working out that, and I don't know, it just didn't work. And then when I moved to university, obviously I stayed alone, so there was no one to help me switch it on and switch it off. And when I
Uh-huh.
try to do it myself,
You got
it doesn't work.
electrocuted, or yeah, okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So what year was this when you found out about iontophoresis?
2019.
Okay. 2019. Yeah. But this iontophoresis device that you bought, do you know if it's like CE marked, FDA approved, or anything like that, or is it?
I'm really not sure. I honestly don't know. I don't think it is because, yeah, like I said, it's a South African company
Mm,
that makes it. So I don't think they would have bothered to get FDA approval on it.
right, right. And do you know if it has pulsed or a constant current mode? That device, does
It
it
has a
say?
constant.
It has a
It just
constant.
has constant.
Okay, I see. So constant is a kind of the older version of current, and I
Mm,
mean, uh, many people use it because they need it, but pulse can work for many as well, and that is often less painful or more
mm,
comfortable, because with modern iontophoresis devices, it shouldn't be painful. You should, I mean, it could still be uncomfortable, but not painful like
not
that.
pain.
Uh, so I guess if you're looking into an option further on, you might be able to find someone who will ship. And I mean,
Mm,
we might even start in my company shipping as well in the future to South Africa. But I think you should consider it because it's unfortunate if yeah, you're not supposed to be in pain like that. But okay, so when you couldn't use iontophoresis anymore, what happened? What happened then?
So what was interesting while I was doing the treatment, it never fully stopped my sweating,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously it reduced it a huge amount. And then I didn't realize how much it had reduced it until I stopped using it.
Uh-huh.
And then it came back, and I was like, wow, okay, it actually, because I was complaining about it and saying, it's not working because I'm still sweating. But then when I completely stopped using it, and then I remembered how much I sweated, then I was like, okay, it did work.
Yeah, I think it's funny how fast you can get used to not sweating as much and then just adjusting to the situation. Um, but when did you stop using it completely?
At the end of 2020.
Okay, 2020. So it's been a couple of or 3 years, something like 2, 3 years. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah. And what happened after that? Did you seek other options or what did you do?
No, I haven't. I've kind of just been trying to manage it through other techniques, um, breathing exercises, meditation, trying to reduce the stress levels
Yeah.
as one of the causes. Yeah.
And how has that been for you? Do you think it has had any effect on your sweat problems?
In all honesty, no, I don't think so. But I also, these past few years, I've come to peace with the fact that I have it. So also being a lot more open about it, I'm not that self-conscious about it. And
Right.
then also being more aware of it, I can make choices on the clothes that I wear, the
Mm.
material, the color, the shoes that I wear. So it's a lot, I found it a lot easier to hide now, or cope with,
Mm.
because every time I go shopping, I remember it. I'm like, okay, I need to choose a material that looks like this or a color that looks like that.
Right.
So
What are your favorite like materials or colors? Right, because of your
yeah,
hyperhidrosis.
obviously black, and then a soft, breathable cotton type material.
Hmm. Do you do like layering or anything like that, or does that just make you warmer so you avoid it, or?
I did used to do a lot of layering, especially in high school.
Hmm.
I've stopped doing it now. Luckily, I live in a very hot part of the country, so a lot of people sweat generally from heat.
Mm.
So if I have like pit stains, people don't really comment or notice that much because a lot of people have it. Not
Us.
because they have hyperhidrosis, it's just because our
It's
temperatures get really high.
yeah. You were talking about trying different kind of alternative methods to handle your like coping mechanisms to handle your hyperhidrosis. You're talking about breathing exercises and so on. But you said that it didn't really stop the sweating, but maybe more about reducing stress level and like discomfort from. Is that correct? Yeah. And I think that is my experience also with all the patients that I saw, because it's so easy to associate excessive sweating with external triggers or like also emotions and things like that. Like for example, it must be due to some cause. It must be due to heat or stress, either from the outside or internally. Like okay, you're a stressed person, you might have anxiety, that must be the reason. But what we do know and what we do see is that the definition itself of hyperhidrosis is that you sweat excessively. So not you don't sweat a lot because you have a high anxiety level. You don't sweat a lot because you're hot. You might be calm and well tempered, and the temperature in the room and everything is okay, but you're still sweating a lot, and that is the definition itself, that the sweating is not associated with how you're feeling or the environment that you're in. And I think that sometimes can be really hard to get people to understand. uh, but with that said, I must still agree with you that I think that therapy or breathing exercises or mindfulness or things like that can be helpful, to handle uh, everything that comes with living with a medical condition and things like that, for acceptance and calming the nerves, even if it doesn't reduce the sweating.